to another event, not in Dalian, but in Beijing, then what you're finding is there are a whole lot of Australian companies there chasing Chinese capital, courting Chinese investors, because that's where the money is at the moment.
Okay, so rather than me saying enough on China, that's enough of that, I'll just say let's move on.
Right.
And we'll talk about some other things. You and I were both in Mumbai, India, formerly Bombay, early this year, and we're both on a panel, and you said something really interesting, and I just want you to perhaps talk to people about this. At the time, the Indian Premier League, the cricket competition, was really a buzz, and there's a lot of money being poured in and threatening to ruin the game worldwide of cricket. And we're in the town where Sachin Tendulkar, one of the most famous cricketers, was known. And you asked the question of the audience, you said, who here knows the rules of cricket? And of course, in a cricket-mad town, everyone knew the rules. And then you said, well, okay, you all know the rules. Why aren't you all playing in this premier competition? Why aren't you the best? Why aren't you out there playing? And I guess the analogy you were drawing out was, we may know the rules of trading, but we may not all have the same levels of aptitude. Can you just...
That's correct. And we're finding that is exposed to or highlighted to a significant extent in current market conditions.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of retail investors out there who knew the rules, read all the books, and did a whole lot of good things when the market was going up, because every boat, no matter how good or bad it is, rises on a rising tide.
Yes.
Now the tide's gone out, what we're finding is this tremendous gap between aptitude and knowing the rules. And trading is not for everyone. Investing in the market is not for everyone, but certainly trading isn't for everyone. You can know the rules, but until you actually get in there and do the work, you don't know whether you've actually got the aptitude and the skill to be able to apply.
So that's the true test. That's the true test. Really,
and in a bull market, it's so easy to confuse brains with a bull market, and there are so many people who have done that. I was working in I was working in Hangzhou in China. Went back to China a few weeks ago, and we were talking about this particular aspect. And I said to the audience, there will be a whole lot of people who will disappear at the end of this bull market, and you'll find them driving taxis. And there was a small chuckle at this. Then I returned to Singapore, and I jump in a taxi, and I'd actually just finished doing some work for CNBC, and the driver was talking and so on, and he said, oh, you're in financial markets. He said, I used to be in financial markets. I was a broker in 1996 in Malaysia, and he's still driving a taxi now.
Well, I guess this is what happens, isn't it, over time in markets and everything else. Because our time's limited today, I guess I just wanted to hit some really important bits. Do you have guidance to people who are starting out trading? I mean, what's some of the things that they can go to expos just like this, perhaps, or perhaps a little bit different, more retail expos, and they hear the world being promised to them, and I'll just buy our software, will be okay. And what's your advice to traders who are just looking at the market for the first time, and where do they start? How do they decipher all this?
The first thing you do is you pay your conference entry fee by credit card, and you leave your wallet at home. Because there'll be lots of people there saying, buy this is the secret to the market, buy this, buy that. There's less of them now, by the way, but buy this, buy that. That's not the answer. The first thing you must do is research. Some of that's reading, talking to other traders, buying publications that give you a genuine idea of what the market is doing and how people are reacting. There is no single solution to the market. If there was, then we wouldn't have these sorts of discussions.
Sure.
Everyone would be doing it. So what's important at the moment is simply to sit back, to wait, to watch, and learn. Because trading in current markets requires a high level of skill, it requires a high level of experience. This is not a market for beginners.
No, not presently. No, that's for sure. Okay, I talk a lot about trading plan. Is that a requirement? Is that something that's required?
Yes.
Is it overrated, I guess?
No, it's not overrated. You must know exactly what is happening in terms of your trading. You must know what your plan is for every trade that you take, what you intend to do, what you end up achieving, and why you failed to achieve that particular purpose. Because that's what will happen. You will fail. What matters, you will succeed. You will fail. There's a gentleman called Karl Popper who wrote a book called The Open Society and Its Enemies. Now, that's been popularised in a book called Black Swans. And what Popper was saying is that nothing is correct. It is only correct until it is proved to be incorrect. Now, of course, Black Swan says all swans are white until you see a black swan, which proves that statement is not correct.
Okay.
That's a broad summary of what's going on.
Sure.
And then he uses that to explain a whole lot of other things. So the same in the market. What's working now only works as long as it works. And when the markets change, those methods will change. It will stop working. So the key factor is that every trade, every idea you take is provisional. It only works until it fails, and it will fail.
Makes a lot of sense.
So you have to work on the assumption that it's going to fail.
Right.
And when it fails, you must know what to do. When you're sitting in the exit sheet on the plane and you look out the window and there's 2 engines on fire, it's too late to start reading the instructions. Right. You've got to know what to happen. Okay. And that's what a trade plan is.
Sure enough. Okay, fair enough. Well, it's good to hear. I mean, I like to think I really push home the idea of, look, just before we finish, something you said this morning in your presentation, you spoke about don't trade what you believe, trade what you see. Can you just explain that for a sec?
The idea is that we come into the market and we believe the market's going to behave in a particular way. And that can be very sound analysis. The Dow's gone up, therefore we will go up.
Yes.
Okay, the Dow goes up, we go up, then we look at the Hang Seng and it goes down. So, although we're trading Hang Seng because Dow's up and XJ Australia is up, as soon as we watch the action, if the action does not verify what we believe, get out of that market. Wait until you see what is happening. Trade what you see on the screens, not what you believe will happen.
And that's obviously hard to do.
Very hard.
Because, I mean, we're so, I guess over time, we've evolved to the point where humans, we trust our instincts and we trust what we believe in, and we place so much emphasis on that, and then all of a sudden we come to trading and we can't rely on that. Right. So obviously that's why it's so difficult.
You have a choice. You can be right or you can be profitable. And it's better to be profitable.
Fair enough. No, I guess that's your outcome is, and I guess again that's when the ego comes into it.
Exactly.
Ego's not really an issue. Forget about being right or wrong. But look, Daryl, I know you're a busy man. I know you're off to Beijing tonight. I know you're off to Tokyo on the weekend to an event I wish I was going to. Maybe one day I'll get there myself to Tokyo to speak. But
and then back to Beijing again.
And then back to Beijing for next week. So Daryl, thank you very much for your time today. I know you're busy and I know you'll be heading off to do other things. And it's great to be at an event like this where, as I said, China is really the talk of the town. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed that. Just a quick insight to Daryl and how he feels about trading, and thanks very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Thanks, Stuart.